let's go for a little cruise. This is just a quick cruise around the neighborhood. Replaced the voltage regulator. Finally the voltage looks good. It's charging. 50 pounds of oil pressure at 190 degrees on the thermostat. Well, let's get out and do a little walk around. We'll pull her onto the grass here so we can take a little gander around her. Hey there, welcome back to McLovin Moto. I'm Ryan, and today on the channel I want to show you my 1966 Chrysler Newport. I'm sure you've seen this car. You've seen it at the end of every one of my videos on my end screen, starting from about 6 months ago. I just got the car put back together. I bought it not running, and I want to show it to you today. A little backstory on this car. This car was my neighbor's growing up. His name is Russ. And he had 3 of these cars. He had 3 1966s. One was a 1966 Newport 4-door. It was red in color. He had a 1966 New Yorker 4-door that was kind of yellow like this car in color, white. And he had this 66 Newport 2-door. This car was originally a 383 car with air conditioning. It was bought new in Sacramento, California. I ended up making a deal with him. He is in his mid-80s now. The cars had not been on the road. Well, let's take that back. The red Newport had not been on the road since '86, and then this car and the New Yorker had not been on the road since 2004. I bought them all just a little over a year ago now, maybe 2 actually. I got the New Yorker running and driving. I drove it around, I customized it a little bit, and then I ended up selling it to pay for the rebuild on this car. This car, like I said, had a 383. It's got a 727 torque flight automatic, and it has, or it had, 276 open rear end gear. So really a highway flyer. I took the 383 out. I found out that it was junk. It had gotten water inside of it. It looked like it was rusty inside, would not run. And instead of rebuilding that 383, I found a 1966 casting 440. And I went through with a friend of mine named Eric, a really good Mopar mechanic. And I sent it to the machine shop. I had it worked over. I had the heads worked over with hardened valve seats put in. And him and I took all the parts back. He did a lot of the work. He painted it. He helped with putting it all together. He did a lot of the work to do that. I helped, and he showed me how to do some things. We put the heads back on it. We went all through it, completely brand new, top to bottom. It's bored 30 over, so it's actually like a 446 or a 449. I think at this point, if you add the 30 over in each cylinder. It's got an edelbrock dual plane intake on it. It's got a holley carburetor, and I'll walk you through those things when I'm done here. I had the transmission gone through, the 727, they checked the bands, new filter, new fluids. I had a 323 Sure Grip rear end put in it, so it's now got a posi. Dodge's version of a posi is called Sure Grip. So it's got 323 rear end gears. It's got brand new wheels and tires. These are 15 by 8 inch. They're the Mopar police wheels is what they're called, or cop wheels as everybody calls them. They are kind of a slotted steel wheel with, I actually used, I believe those are Dart hubcaps, dog dish hubcaps. I really like the way they look, and I think it looks killer on this car. So pretty much gone through the whole thing mechanically. It's got new brakes, it's got new ball joints and all of those sorts of things, new U-joints on the drive line. Really solid as far as that goes. I did upgrade it to a dual piston or a dual pot master cylinder. It already had it already had power brakes, but they weren't it was a single pot master cylinder, so now it's dual. So if I lose one side of it, it'll still stop, hopefully. So I've really gone through this whole car. I've done a lot of mechanical work to it, and really the only thing left to do is some interior. The front seat is ripped; it needs some work there, and then just a little bit, maybe some paint work would be good. It's got a few spots that need some attention. Overall, really cool, really clean car. But let's walk around it, and I'll show you what I did. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like. Please hit that notification bell. It lets you know when I post new content like this. Really appreciate you being here and checking out my car. At this point, I believe I'm going to be right around 2,000 subscribers. I'd really like to hit 5,000 by the end of 2021. So if you haven't subscribed and my content resonates with you, if you would hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that. I appreciate the chance to earn you coming back again and again. So let's take a look at this car and walk you around it. Okay, let's start with the motor. This is a 1966 casting 440. It's been bored 30 over. It's got a Lunati Voodoo cam in it. It's running a set of factory iron heads. They're the 516 casting heads. They were gone through, and they had hardened valve seats put in them. They also have Lunati rocker springs. I did use stock valve train as far as the rocker arms and the push rods and everything like that, but the rest of it is a Lunati kit. It's got a double roller timing chain on it. I did use an Edelbrock dual plane intake. It does have a holley carb. It's I believe a street, yeah, I think it's like a street dominator carb. It's like a 790 CFM manual choke carb. I am running an MSD ignition with the 6AL digital box, and that has worked really well at this point now that I've got it kind of sorted out. I've had a few issues with the car as I've gotten the build done. I had a Mopar performance style Proform distributor and electronic ignition box did not work well. I wasn't very pleased with that, and so I swapped it out to the MSD. So I've got an MSD distributor, and then their digital box runs a way better. I just changed the voltage regulator. I was having trouble with the voltage. I think I told you earlier I put a dual pot master cylinder. It does have power brakes, it does have power steering. It was a factory air conditioning car. I don't have any of that stuff currently on the car. I wanted to save a little bit of weight, and it doesn't get so hot in Oregon that I really need it for a couple months out of the year. At some point maybe it'd be awesome to put it back in, but for now I'm just going to leave it. So there's the motor. 440 big block, made it to a 727 torque flight, and then 323 sure grip 8 3/4 Mopar rear end. The interior in this car is pretty incredible. I love the gauges, I love the dash. The steering wheel's amazing. I did put a tack up here on the A-pillar. I know some purists are not going to like that, but it works for me. I want to be able to see it, and I want it right in my face without being in front of the other gauges in the dash. On below, as you can kind of see there, I've got a set of gauges: water temp, oil pressure, and volts. And it is an automatic transmission. The one real bummer about the interior is this driver's seat right here. This is my next order of business to get fixed. I found from, I believe it's SMS Interior, they do still have this fabric, both the fabric and the vinyl. So I'm going to have this whole front seat recovered in the factory color. I kind of do like the gold and the brown. I know it's old school, but I really dig it. So there's the interior. It seats 6 pretty comfortably, 4 for sure, but it will sit 6 pretty comfortably. You can see the old the dome light back there still works, both sides, and it's got a dome light up there underneath the stereo. The AM radio also still works in the car. Not real rusty. It does have some surface rust on the outside, but overall the car is super clean and rust free. All right, we're on the passenger side. Probably a little easier to see some of the things I talked about earlier. There's a GoPro in the window there, but gauges underneath, AM FM radio. There's some cool features in these cars, like in the glove compartment. There's technically a cup holder there, as you can see. And then underneath here, there's a kind of a hidden map pocket. There's an old map of Portland. I don't know how long ago that's from. 79 it looks like. But yeah, map pocket underneath. It does have also the double ashtrays, because I mean back in the day you needed that. My New Yorker actually had an ashtray in the back of the driver's seat, and it was power. This one does not have power seats. It's all manual. The Newport was the base car, and then the New Yorker was a step up from that. Do you have any questions for me about the car? Leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer those. I did use Flowmaster 40 series exhaust on it. I'll fire it up here in just a second. It's got dual Flowmaster 40 series exhaust with an H pipe, and I believe it sounds good. I did stick with stock factory manifolds. The car's not built to be a race car. It's built to be a driver, and so I did not really feel like the only company that made a good set of headers was TTI, and they're about $1,000, and I didn't honestly have the money for that, and nor did I really need it. I'm not gonna run the car to its full potential as far as like a track car. It's a driver, and so I went back to factory manifolds. You notice right there that it does have a trailer hitch. I'm not sure what he towed with it. I should ask him, but it does have a trailer hitch with wiring. I thought it'd be kind of cool to haul some of my dirt bikes with it, and my dual sports, and go up and go to the mountains. So it might be on the list. Just throw the trailer on just because it'd be fun. Let me fire it up real quick for you. cool thing about these old Mopars is that these are the turn signals, so you don't have them in the dash. They're up here on the fender, and they're on both sides. You can see there's one over here also. Super neat feature of these old cars. But that's how you know your turn signals are on. You can see them from the cockpit. Well, what do you guys think? Pretty neat old car. I have a lot of sentimental attachment to this car. I've ridden in it when I was a kid, and just knowing that it was owned by my next door neighbor when I was growing up, and how much he enjoyed them, it really means a lot to me. This I doubt I will sell this one. I know that's not usually my norm. I like to buy and sell old cars, but this one's probably gonna stay in the family and stay around, especially after the TLC I've put into it as far as new motor, and if I continue to work on it, I'm really not going to want to let it go. But it's a beautiful car. It needs a few more things still, but overall super happy with how it's turning out. It runs really good, and I'll just keep tinkering on it and learning about it. I'm a Mopar guy. I've got a 1973 Dart Swinger, Dodge Dart Swinger 2-door that's next on the list. You'll probably see on the channel here in the coming months, I should say. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you being here. I love showing you my rides, my cars, my bikes, and everything I got going on. My name's Ryan again. This is McLovin Moto. Thank you for coming and watching. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time.